Let's greet each other because we have our lights down. It looks like we are in the meditation. So let's start. Let's greet each other. And I'm giving the floor to Nikolay. Let's check our microphones. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Thank you for starting, Yulia. Dear colleagues, today we are starting our roundtable on insurance. Yes, insurance of risks. And today I'm very pleased to introduce you two persons. Our wonderful Yulia Peresild, actress who had risked a lot. She went to space area. And another person I'm pleased to introduce is Nikolay Galushin, who is responsible for the risks and for risk assessment, and he's responsible for insurance in our country. So let's discuss which risks we insure this year. This year, another fundamental event happened. Electronic regulation started to develop in 2017. First time we issued electronic insurance policy, and we started to develop it. And today we are here with our advanced insurers, and we will discuss issues on eco development at this round table. I'm giving the floor to our moderator, Nikolay, to make introduction. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. A few words about this history of insurance in Russia and about our technologies. I'm quite lucky to have been working at this market for many years, and in the building where I was working in the beginning, there was only one computer. There were old senior computer employers, and they didn't allow the young employees to work. And they used to tell, don't approach here because I'm playing Tetris now. And when they were playing Tetris, computer sounded with this sound. And I used to fill up some tables. After these years passed, now we already have a big system of insurers, ecosystem of insurance. And now I want to tell you what is ecosystem. I want to share with you the knowledge that I was surprised today. Insurance and ecosystem are so already famous today that I wanted to look at the definition of this word. This is the system where people live together. First, this is biological term, and this term appeared around 200 years ago, and it appeared in business and economics around 40 years ago, and it has the same meaning as in biology. This is the system of coexistence of communities, businesses, and they both help each other and also compete. And in the program of our roundtable, there is insurance companies and ecosystem. And can we equate them, or should we opposite them? Maybe this is equality, or maybe this is just components of one system. So I want to ask Yulia to join our hot or not hot discussion. Thank you for giving me the floor. I'm a new person in the insurance area. but because I'm a person interested in life, what's happening around, and I'm very interested to know what it is about and where our discussion will come. Because we have a space area at our ceiling, so I'm seeing that you are creative people and with sense of humor. Yes, I would like to know a couple of anecdotes, humor stories about insurers. And I think that these stories are quite funny nowadays. This period of time is not easy, of course. I was asked to tell something about space and to introduce the participants of our discussion, and then I was told not to introduce them, and because Nikolay told that everybody was famous with, was acquainted with each other. So I was asked to tell about space. Actually, I have 7 hours to describe the space, so I am not trying to do it. But one story I have for you. When we arrived and when we came back, because first we went to the space, and then we started to make a film. And I asked the producer why we didn't make the film in the space, and he answered that it was very risky. I cannot tell you the amount of money which was spent for my insurance. Yes, I keep it in secret because I love my country. Anyway, because you are creative, joyful and brave people, if you guarantee to have something interesting today. Okay, let's start. I have started with humor, but we will be discussing important questions. So let's start our discussion, believe it or not, with the meditation. Yes, it was a crazy year. Every minute some unexpected event may happen, so I'm requesting you, let's close the door, let's relax and stay 5 minutes in meditation. Yes, our lights are down. I'm not requesting you to close your eyes, but still, let's make our meditation just for 5 minutes. You may not close your eyes, or you may close your eyes if you are not shy of your leaders. Okay, let's breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Listen to your breathing, and just try to turn off your attention from the external life. Feel yourself relaxed and make all the anxious thoughts go away from you. I know that all of you came here to solve so many issues, but let's give to us these 3 minutes. Something comes in our bodies and it is filled up with some amazing light. Let's make this amazing light, keep it within ourselves. We are feeling easy and joyful, so let's fly. You are filled with light and just fly up as an air balloon that you threw away to the sky, to the heaven, upper and upper. And this is unknown feeling that as if you are jumping out from the deep to the heaven. It's a little bit fearful, however, very attractive. What is expecting us there in this bright deepness? Probably you are happy, or you want to experience something that you have never experienced. Happiness and love are filling us within. These are so rare minutes. Just remember some happiness that was causing this joyfulness in you, like candy or the first toy that was bought by your parents, or the first chewing gum. One hero of a Russian novel once told, why people are not flying like birds, but actually people fly. I was flying in the space area, and we can try to do it together. Just fly up, upper, and then look down. What are you seeing there? Small, fragile, very sensitive, skinless planet covered with an amazing white covering. So it is in our power both to keep it or to destroy, but we don't think about it. We understand we have some special strength, and we're not always we always have something, so we are relaxing in this unweightedness. None of the astronauts know it. This is real feeling of feeling in love. But actually we all know this feeling where you don't feel the weight of your body, where you want to jump and fly. So you are flying in this divine beauty, and all these problems seem so small, so easy solvable. And of course we have enough strength to solve them. For sure we'll do it. We'll try. Please thank yourself that all of you try to maintain something, to create something, and to make this small unprotected earth for 0.0001%. And this is very big happiness. So we're breathing, smile to each other, to ourselves, and thank ourselves. Each of us are not in vain here. Each of us has some purpose and meaning. So we are breathing and coming back. And we want only one thing: to be successful, to be creative, to have something to be inspired, to have something to smile to. So we are coming back at this place, a little different, relaxed, smiling. So we're coming back here to our space, which is already insured by you. So today nothing wrong should happen to us because all the risks are calculated.
Thank you for such meditation. Julia, thank you very much. So dear participants of our round table, our time is over. Well, I'm joking. Well, it might be good end. So let me add something. Unfortunately, I was not able to relax because first I was afraid that after your speech, some people will not wake up. And the second thing, I realized that you were quite sly when you were talking about your flight to the outer space. I don't think it was a second when you could meditate. It's not true. Actually, I wrote in my book that for me, weightlessness was the state of love. When I was at the space station, actually, I was really happy. Actually, a month before I flew to the space station, I was afraid, but then I wasn't. And the third thing, it was really hard for me to stay without a mobile phone for such a long time. Yeah, actually, it was our purpose. It was a small detox. But what shall I do if I get used to this feeling, staying without my smartphone? But anyway, thank you, Yulia. It was a really good experience and quite unexpected, and it was really useful and nice. And I think we could discuss it and describe it in different ways. Now I'd like to give the floor to Vladimir Skvortsov, Alpha Insurance. Okay, so let's please ask questions. I'm ready to answer them. I think you are still meditating. Where are your questions? Okay, I will ask you a question. So today, the insurers and ecosystems, what do you think? How do they develop? Do they develop parallelly? Do they coexist in the outer space? Do they cross? What is the future for them? Thank you for your question. Actually, I expected another question, but it's fine. The topic of our discussion is the ecosystems and classical insurance companies, if they contradict or they come hand in hand. Actually, I was preparing for our session and I also looked for the definition of ecosystem, and I read the same definition, but I found some description of the ecosystem of the pond, and I thought that that description would not help me in this discussion. But the question is quite relevant. It depends on what we understand under ecosystems and classical insurance companies. If we talk about some contradiction about competition between classic insurance companies, I should say that it's not a constructive discussion, and of course contradiction might happen and clashes might happen. And our position is that open competition is better, and it's better for long term than tough ecosystem. If we mean rigidity and vertical structure on an ecosystem and impossibility to provide services to customers for insurance companies, in this case, I would say I'm against it. And I underline once again that for us, it's important that our customers could get the maximum best service, the best product, the best price. And we believe that nobody, and neither the government, nor the regulator, nor the shareholders force customers buy something which they're not interested in. And from this point of view, we as an insurance company support cooperation, and we think that it's irrelevant who is our partner. This could be company in our group or maybe some other company. It could be some of the colleagues who are present here at the roundtable. We do everything we can to provide the best insurance service, and in this case we're sure they will choose us. In this case we know that we are good for our customers as a company, and that we are useful for the ecosystem, for customers. And in this case contradiction is actually conflict is not what we're going to discuss today. Thank you. Okay, and I have another question to Ilya Smirnov. Hello, Ilya. If we talk about differences between the Bank of Russia, is it a part of an ecosystem or it's not a part of the ecosystem? But it's just the first question. And what is easy to control, to regulate? For customers, maybe it's not very important. It's important for them that the quality is high and service is provided in time. And this year, the Bank of Russia has started up the subsidiary company, and Nikolay is the head of this company. So please tell us again about the ecosystem. I haven't caught the idea what it is, because as a customer I should understand what it is. I think you have sent us to the outer space for the second time, first when the lights were off, and this is the second time in reality, because we started thinking about ecosystems as the Bank of Russia in 2019. And for the last 18 months, we had certain pause. We were thinking what should be the shape of this ecosystem and in what form our clients should get services, or whether these should be individual legal entities or they should be interconnected. It's quite a complex question. And actually our middle customer keeps something in mind, and this is actually it's financial stability, and customers don't always keep it in mind, and we don't always think what happens to the counter agent if this agent is licensed. And the difference between the ecosystem and non-ecosystem is it should be minimum, I think. Client should always get one's money, his or her money. But the ecosystem is often built on the platform of a bank or an insurance company or some other big company. And if this company attracts client's money, in this case it should pay to those whose money was attracted on the basis of this license. If this is bank, this should be individuals who invested money, and if it's an insurance company, in this case those should be persons who are insured. And we are able to do this, and I hope that we do this well. As for the second question, I should say that that's the reason why a client goes to the ecosystem. Actually, it's like shopping. You go to the shop and get the whole area of services. So what services you get? What is the quality of the services? And how complex it should be to enter the ecosystem, to have competition between ecosystems, and so that a client is not pegged to one system, and that these ecosystems should have different services, and they should have competition between different insurance companies, and thus a client could choose between different companies and doesn't have to suffer from poor banking services. And I think this is the challenge we're facing. And it doesn't concern financial stability. I think it mostly concerns the protection of clients' interests. But I should say that the development of the ecosystem exists, we confirm it, but we cannot either confirm its existence or deny its existence. It's like arguing if our planet is flat or it's round. Actually, it makes no sense. And I should just remind you that we accept that the ecosystem develops and we support its development. And it concerns the combination of services, and we take different steps right now to implement this. And we have been dealing with some other things for the past 2 years, but still we think that it's possible to combine the activities of the insurance company with the dealers, with the brokers, and I think it would help insurance companies to provide a package of services which will be wider than it used to be. I'm sorry. Can I ask questions to the regulator? So, and from the point of regulation, is it possible to have a tougher regulation of the ecosystem rather than an insurance company? Because the connection of the ecosystem and the influence of the ecosystem on the customer is stronger. Of course, we take this into account, but I can't answer right now. We don't have this on our agenda, but it doesn't mean that tomorrow we will not have it in our agenda. I think it mostly depends on what position we have. If we can see some negative practice of pegging clients to certain services, of imposing services on clients, in this case, we will be forced to react. And it doesn't matter if we want to deal with this story or we don't deal with this. It's like having an open market and providing everything everybody wants in this market. It's impossible. So regulators should protect customers, but on the other hand, we should control and provide limits for market players.
My question to you, are you talking about the full volume of ecosystem or in parts? What is your view? Are ecosystems at the market of insurance existing as parts of different insurers, or will it be an integrated ecosystem? Or will they exist parallel? Thank you for giving me the floor. I'm greeting all of you. I am a newcomer here at this market as Yulia. So I wanted to tell you about insurance in space launches. Today we, at the moment, we have insured 7 space flights, and one of our affiliate will make insurance program at Baikonur. So we have to think about the execution of this program. In fact, yesterday, the head of Sberbank told us to make a new strategy until 2026, and all the strategies that exist in the industry are being certified now. And if our partners, I would say our competitors, have a glance at our strategy, I think they will be frightened frightened. Anyway, they are partners. For example, you enter Sberbank online. We have credit, insurance, transfer. Everyone is at one place. And also other applications like Oko, Mega Market. So you know what ecosystem is on the example of Sberbank. Of course, ecosystem is very convenient, it is synergy, and it should be integrated. However, our aim is to suggest to our clients whatever they need. For example, if they require education, we have to provide them education platform. If the person lives in the upper floors of the building, why we should suggest to him insurance against the water flow from upper floors? And so we have a huge amount of data and requirements of the clients, and it allows us to compile the set of offerings that we can suggest to our clients. It is like in the forest. There are huge trees, small trees, and mushrooms, small or big, and it's the same here. Sometimes we want to visit big shop, big supermarkets like Azbuka Vkusa or something else, or we just want to visit a small shop near our house. So I think ecosystem in the form of a big integrated system is useful. However, all separate options also have a right to exist, whatever is needed for our clients. And actually it's very good to have partners and competitors, and we can take lessons from each other and to have more practice, and actually everybody wins in this competition. Okay, what I can add, you gave an example of a forest, but you know, oaks and mushrooms are not eatable for everyone. Okay, whose turn is now? My question to Alexander. You've told about creating additional advertisement for Sberbank. I'm feeling that our meditation was useless because our colleagues become strained again. Okay, talking about Sberbank, it's not about additional advertisement because Sberbank doesn't need any advertisement. It's very famous, but some years ago, insurance house Veska claimed that they will create ecosystem around themselves. Actually, it is a different model. So my question to Alexander, please describe your model of insurance in Veska company from the point when the idea had appeared. How it happened, and what have been developed until now. Thank you for the question. This year for Veska company is very significant. We are about to finish business strategies which were developed in 2020. Although we have many hurdles and barriers, but the programs are being developed quite successfully now. We are started to think about it several years ago. However, we felt ourselves powerful enough to complete these programs. And we started our strategies, and now we are meditating together with our colleagues about one more strategy. And we think to implement it in 3 years. Thank you, Yulia, for your meditation. Meditation with you is quite pleasant. However, our meditation is full of tasks and business ideas. So we've been meditating about this idea for 3 years. And I can say that share and contribution of Russia into insurance, it is quite different from GDP contribution at our markets, like in China and South Korea, it's from 2 until 13%, and at our Russian market, it's very little. So it's very prospective, and the percent of contribution will grow with the years. We revealed the fact that the share of non-obligatory products in the banks is around 20-25% with physical entities. In the market of life, it is around 30-32%. But these products, although non-obligatory, but they are valuable from the point of view of consumers. And people buy these products without legal obligations. So this is the sphere where we can grow and where we can create products. And here we can pay attention to the client's values, where the client buys a bank product not under the pressure of the bank, not because it's obligatory, but because the client wants these products themselves, and increases the frequency of addressing the clients to insurance company. Although it is more rare than obligatory products, however, this concept can improve the economic indexes, criteria. So now we are working on this project, and it will allow our company to stay amongst the leaders of insurance product. And also the share of insurance will impact the GDP of the country. And we will see what is the most important: satisfied clients, because they have opportunity to buy the products whenever they want, but not whenever they are obliged. And I think in the frames of this project, we will consider more deep, and we will be developing in 4 directions. And these are auto, house, health, and business. Our program is presented at our stand, our ecosystem. You can approach and you can visit our stand. And also you can see the program from the point of signing the agreement until the insurance case. Also you can get telemedicine consultation, assess some risks with cardiovascular system and diabetic risks, and certain risks with which you should preventively work. And you also can ensure your health with a smart Yandex service Alice. So this is our connection with integral ecosystem. Okay, thank you very much. My question is to Anton. I know that you are making prognosis for the future. I'm the stakeholder of the charity fund, and before we were requesting strategical sessions, and at this session one person asked us what were our plans for 2030. I was very surprised and I was not able to answer because I don't know about my future. But my question to you, the same question: what are your plans for the future, or prognosis for the future 5 years? I understand that this is a crazy question. What are your prognosis for 2050 regarding the insurance of the future? You all are speaking about ecosystems. Now I am starting to understand what it is. However, do everybody need these ecosystems? Do everybody must be connected with their systems? Because not all smartphones support these programs. This is questionable. Thank you for your question. It's very pleasant to be present at this session. I'm representing Yandex.Taxi and Yandex ecosystem. And I think that our company has done a good contribution into whole ecosystem. And last week I broke my finger, and due to the insurance of AlfaBank, it was cured.
So it's a different practice. So I was lucky, everything was done quite fast. But if we talk about taxi and insurance for cars like Osago, which concern the reality of the market, that we have different drivers, they have different experience of driving, and thus we need to consider each case individually. We should adjust it for every customer, and thus we have to sell not only insurance for 6 months or for a year, but actually I think we need to insure them for 5 minutes or for some short periods. And I hope it will not happen in 2050, but actually much faster, maybe next year, when we will develop and introduce these products, and will be able to work with the partners of different ecosystems, and will be able to provide insurances for them upon their request. And I hope we will use artificial intelligence for this, and I hope it will be client-centric model when we meet different intermediaries to help the customer to get the service. And in our case, it would be an insurance service. It doesn't have to be insurance. Maybe we provide some kind of voluntary insurance or some other types of insurance. But I think insuring risks, it's quite right thing. It represents the culture of life. And such practice should be extended. But if we talk about the fact that everybody should become an ecosystem, and what an ecosystem is, whether it's an outer space, the universe, or maybe it's a forest or a pond, I think we can take biological students' books aside and think about the following. We should have an application which should provide different services, but it doesn't have to be an ecosystem. Actually, it's just a shopping window, but it doesn't contain anything useful, and it will not be named an ecosystem. But if you don't have an application and you take some company, for example, a metallurgical company or a construction company, and they have a developed ecosystem and it doesn't concern front-end applications. Actually, it's the interaction between contractors and suppliers and subcontractors, and thus they provide services effectively. And I think every company should find its own way in developing ecosystems, and I think it makes no sense just to think about only one euphoric ecosystem which we describe, and we'll think of creating a strategy which we need to meet by 2030. I think it makes no sense. And finishing my answer, if we look back 10 to 5 years ago, real world and virtual world coexisted. And things which were designed by Yandex, Mail.ru, those were browsers, online services, and they stayed within the computer or a smartphone. But what we have now, and taking into account where all this moves, we can see that these services could be received in real life, and you can get the service cheaper, faster, and its quality will be much higher. When I just started working for Yandex, at the beginning of my work with them, we were developing services telemedicine, but actually it has changed its image. It was an attempt to create something with our partners like MTS. We wanted to create the market, which should be quite lucrative, but the healthcare field was not ready for such ecosystems. I think we should have a suitable situation in the market. The market should be ready for this, for such innovation products. And some markets have certain traditions, they have quite tough limits, and not all international technologies can enter these markets. And I hope that such services would be digitalized and enter conservative markets. Okay, thank you for your reply. I think after your speech, I have a question to ask. There are a lot of developments in insurance markets, and actually they are created on the initiative of the Ministry of Digital Ministry, and it concerns the control of costs. For example, when you need to inform about some insurance case by a saga, could you think of the first results of this project? What is, so whether it's going to have the future? So the result which you can see now, are you satisfied with it as a regulator? Well, it's a good question, because we consider that question is one of the vital things, so vital innovations of this year. Currently, we see that on the 28th of October, we saw 17,000 regulations just 2 weeks ago. Currently, we have more than 3,000 regulations. So I can see that this service is in demand. Of course, the scale is not that big as we wanted. Ordinary regulation has a wider scale, but still, it's important that it's the stimulus for insurance companies to regulate as well. But they don't have to introduce this service into their applications, but still people get used to this service and they use it. And I hope that in the future we will have more people who will use this service. And I would like to add that digital regulation and supplying documents via Gosuslugi, it's actually the tip of the iceberg. It's the very top of the iceberg, because in addition to the application of a blank, actually we should take into account the following. When customers turn to insurance companies, they get acquainted with insurance companies, and insurance companies need to know the experience of the driver and what was the insurance case, and if we can follow if this car accident was caused by the driver or it was caused by some other reasons. And let's have a look at the photo shooting, and maybe it was fraud. And I think digital regulation via Gosuslugi is one of the bricks. But if we want the client to have the continuous way and they don't have to wait long to get the money, we need to resolve some additional issues. Some of them have already been introduced, but others are still being developed, especially if we talk about the interaction on getting access to cameras to find out the reasons of the car accident. And it doesn't only concern Moscow, but other cities as well, and situations which take place on the road beyond cities. So let me add something. But I should say that you are a pilot, Evgeny. You know, that's why I came here. You're a military pilot. I know this. And I should ask you something. So everybody thinks that the Earth is the insurance company and the outer space is the ecosystem. Thanks to Nikolay, I understand now what it is. But you personally, what do you prefer? What do you mostly believe in? Well, personally, I believe in variety. And I think that we cannot force everyone do only one thing. For example, when they wanted OSAGO insurance policies be only digital, and we explained that actually they need paper forms, and I understand that now they use digital regulation, and they thought that we would have 100% loss, but actually it's not true. For this reason, I support variety and difference. I want people use smartphones, they use different applications of various insurance companies, and they can maneuver between them. And for example, they can use insurance services of different banks for different purposes. And I think that the insurance companies use additional services for their applications. They really offer not only payment on insurance, but actually, thanks to the digital regulation, they might have a choice of spare parts, stations. And for example, if they're ill and they have the diagnosis, they push the button and can see what medicine they need, and thus they can order exactly the medicine which was prescribed, and they don't need to look for this medicine. Or they can use some other services, for example, for redecoration of the house. So thus I support variety, and I think it's good. And from my point of view, which was not mentioned, that there is an ecosystem for clients, but actually there is also an ecosystem for employees of insurance companies. We have a lot of agents and counter agents, and actually they have very good results when there are ecosystems for agents. And actually I didn't go to the outer space. My plane flew just at the height of more than 10,000 kilometers. I had 17,000 kilometers. The sky was quite dark, but I was somewhere in the middle between the sky and the land. And I believe that we should have different companies, and it's great that we have different ecosystems. We should develop this. And I'm happy that there are companies who deal with paper insurance policies and they sell them. And I think that's the right thing. We should have more insurance policies. I think that 100 mobile applications of insurance companies is not a good thing. I'm afraid the memory of your smartphone would be full. And I think it would be great if you have access to a certain number of insurance companies' applications and you can compare them. Because some people say, I don't want to get your insurance because you're too complicated. You know, I feel that you will not agree here. We cannot agree for the past 30 years. Yeah, I met you recently, but you know, I understood it right from the beginning. But my purpose is to animate you, and actually I want to have a poll. A quiz, sort of a quiz. Your profession is connected to studying your customers, what they like, what their preferences are. And we have prepared a quiz. We have given homework to the participants of our discussion. Their purpose was to prepare the portraits of insurance companies. And we would like to ask the audience and speakers to vote. Please download the application. Actually, the organizers have downloaded the applications. What about others? Have you downloaded the applications? Okay, you are the only one. How shall we play in this game? So we will raise hands. Okay, I'm ready to use raised hands instead of using applications if it doesn't work. Dear friends, has anyone downloaded this application? At least one person. Well, it's not serious, friends. Okay, shall we try the quiz? Okay. The first question, look at the cards in the screen. The first question, please guess the clients of what companies use this series in the top list. And what songs do they have in their hit list? AlfaStrakhovanie, Tinkoff-Страхование, Sberbank, VSK, Ingostrach. Which?
So, who is the top? Who are desperate housewives here? We have a proper answer, of course, and we will not tell you. Who is listening to the musical bands Korol Shut, Instasamka, and Anna Asti, of clients of which insurance listen to these musical groups? Tinkoff. You think that this is Tinkoff, but I know the proper answer. It is Alpha. I like this quiz. So Desperate Housewives equals Alpha in our mind. So who are the main clients of which company? Who of these clients afraid that the choice of the car will not be appreciated by these colleagues? And who is afraid to get late to their works when they bring their child to school? Whose client this type of people? Yes, the proper answer is known. So who voted? Yes, Veska, it's the proper answer. Third question. The portrait of a client of which insurance company this narrow set a narrow network illustrated? Which company is who? ВСК, Ингострах. 5 компаний, 4 портрета. Вот это ВСК. Портреты клиентов какой страховой компании? So we are calculating. Yes, it was painted by a neural net, but who has neural net nowadays? Not everybody has, because this is neural network. Yes, everybody has. What is most often listened by Yandex.Go clients? Viktor Pelevin and audio drama. Yes, we are driving. What is more often listened by the clients of Yandex.Go? I don't understand why only Yandex.Go and why only 2 options. Yes, this is strange. So they hear mostly to Viktor Pelevin. Yes, the proper answer is Viktor Pelevin. Travel to journey to Elevsin. Of course. Okay. Yes, the questions are over. So Nikolay takes the floor. Actually, we have so many questions. We have a big list of questions, but they ordered us to finish. It's really difficult to stop the discussion together with Yulia. We don't say goodbye. We don't say farewell, but we are asking you, Yulia, to make a photo with you. We want to invite you to continue our communication. Okay, let's finish our session. I thank you for the participation. We have one small secret, Yulia. You know, we're all here not occasionally. Each of us has some reasons. Only you were in the spaceship, but there is one problem. Those who once found themselves in insurance, they will never get out of it. So same is about you. Okay, I'm always ready to risk, and therefore I'm ready to emerge myself in the insurance field. Yes. Thank you again. I don't understand practically anything in insurance, but I want to participate in it. And I want to appreciate all of you who work in insurance. So, you're very strong, powerful people. Thank you very much.
Все можно выбирать. Давайте вместе сфотографируемся всех разом. Да, участники. Нам надо